The world is born on the back of a few good men and women. And I know that standing here in front of us is an example of that saying. So, as president and founding sponsor of this chapter of the Americas, which started in 2006, it's my pleasure to welcome them. And whereas the Foundation for a Drug-Free World is a nonprofit organization that's headquartered in Los Angeles, California, and dedicated to the eradication of illicit drugs in the world and their abuse and their attendant problems. Whereas the Drug-Free World campaign is predicated on the statistically proven fact that wherever young people are presented with the unvarnished truth, illicit drug use drops, crime drops, abuse drops, economies, education go high. Whereas the Drug-Free World Information and Prevention Campaign features 18 Truth About Drugs booklets, 16 Truth About Drugs public service announcements that you can find on YouTube, on the internet, to educate, on your phone applications that you can use if you're out on the street and you want to show to someone. You go on drugfreeworld.org and you can play them. Whereas the campaign materials also include an educator's kit so that any educator, any pastor, any minister can actually educate. I recently gave a talk down in Santo Domingo, and at the school I gave the definition of doctor. And under the derivation of doctor was very interesting, was a learned being. And I looked at something very interesting. It said a doctor of divinity, a doctor of docere, to lead, someone who leads by truth, by education. And really, I know all of us in this room, not just myself, not just the ambassadors, we're all people, we're all doctors who help. We all have our role in education. As her singing brought out to me, and as your powerful words brought out to me, all of us have this entrusted within us. And I think it's no coincidence that we're all here to celebrate the appointment of these very important beings who will need our help. And I can tell you in this position that they'll need our help. And that I urge you to help them. I urge you when they call upon you and they ask you for something or they ask you for your advice, please help them. If they ask you, how do we do this? Let them know. And definitely work with us. The Drug-Free World program has done some amazing things in the country of Colombia, where you know that years ago, if you went there, you'd get kidnapped, where you wouldn't go. Well, in 10 years after institution of many of our human rights programs, one of them being Truth About Drugs, Foundation for a Drug-Free World, that country has changed dramatically. Nothing is perfect, but in this world where things seem to be dwindling in the wrong direction, it's going in the right direction. And so I welcome this to Haiti, Dominican Republic, and it's my pleasure tonight to actually award these presentees. The first one I want to honor really is someone who very rarely gets any mention and is always present and has been there since the beginning, and that's Mr. David Tidman. And the next one, I had the pleasure of meeting. It's almost about somewhere around 3 years ago. And, we met and he told me about some plans he had. And I know that he's very happy because what's happening is he now has a fellow countryman with him. And, I can see what's starting to happen in Haiti. And this is Bishop Lubin Moise. The next one I want to honor is someone who, very much like Manny and the others, is as soon as he heard about this information, he has a favorite phrase of calling me. He goes, Dr. Bernard, Dr. Bernard, you have to come up to Rockland County, and if he speaks to David, he would say, Dr. Bernard, you know, we're going to have this meeting. You have to be there. He's actually been totally open. He's come down to many of the meetings when he was very busy up in Rockland County. It takes him about an hour to get here. He's actually now at this point starting to get some of the fruits of his labor. And one of the politicians that I'm sure is soon to be elected is going to be bringing it into the county, as long as with the county executive, Rosa. So I want to honor Mr. Al Amorós, who's also with the National Latino Police Officers and the Rockland County Hispanic Police Association.
I just want to say one thing, that the power is in the numbers. You stick together and you strive for what you want, and you will get it. Yes. And I always call him Dr. Bernard, because I said, it's something good coming up in Rockland County. You need. And he spoke at the legislation. I continue to fight. This is my second meeting. From here, I'm going to Yonkers. I have another meeting to go to. And we just did a relief fund at Rockland County, not only for Puerto Rico, but also Mexico and Haiti, for people that need. And this, I tell you, I'm a crusader. I'm a leader. I'm not a follower. You might disagree with me, but I'm a leader. And I know, well, sometimes my wife is different. I have to agree with her. So I want to share that with you.
You get more
Thank you.
chances.
Okay.
No, I don't have space for that.
Now,
Yeah.
before I introduce Ambassador Sanan, I want to introduce someone who actually has so much energy that every time he comes into the room, it lights up. And at the end, we're going to have a little performance from him also, which will be very enjoyable. And this is Reverend Tate, and also actually someone who couldn't be here tonight, which is his cohort. And she's fine, actually, but she's recuperating, Reverend Cabral, that he's going to be accepting honor for her. So I want to actually honor these two who are fighting in the New York area in many, many aspects of humanitarian functions, human rights, music, sports, and drug-free world ambassadors. So this is for Dr. Cabral, who couldn't be here. And then this one is for Dr. Tate.
Dr. Tate.
Dr. Cabral wanted to let you know she's apologetic that she couldn't be here, but she know that the mind, soul, and spirit is with us. So she want to thank the drug-free world, the Foundation of Drug-Free World, for all that you do and have done. And we know that Theta is existing. Thank you.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, the word theta is a spiritual word. It means good feelings, goodness, spirituality. It's called theta, the Greek word theta. So the last one here, but obviously also very important, is someone who you see how prolific he is. Very first time I saw him, which is only a very short time ago, I heard him speak. And he energized the room. And then we met after the talk, and we started talking. And he told me some things that he had in mind. And he immediately, like all the others here in front, started to plan. And you see what's happened. Because he's pulled you from Haiti. He's pulled you out of your houses tonight on a Saturday when you could be out having dinner or being somewhere with your family, but he has you here with us, and I'm very happy that he did pull you. So I want to honor Ambassador Hughes Sanon. what I want to do, since he's put this together, I'm going to give him the honor, and he'll be the first to speak about. One more thing. I'm so sorry. The last thing I want to do. Let me have Dr. Cabrales. I'm going to come here in the center, just so that you think the sound will come out okay if I'm in the center. Okay, so if you come out here for a minute. Yeah. And you guys come out here. Just so you're all, yeah, good. So what I want to do is I want to actually to swear them in, and they're going to read to you what it says on the plaque here. So if you turn around and you read this, and I want you to read this out loud to the group. As a drug-free world, America's ambassador, I hereby am in charge with the duties of protecting the future of our families and communities, utilizing the Foundation for a Drug-Free World anti-education program.
Anti-drug education program.
As ambassador, I will submit myself to its ethical use and global dissemination. Nice round of applause for them. Thank you. So, Ambassador Sanan, why don't you go ahead and you can take the podium, and I'll come next.
Mes amis, pas bon Dieu, quoi, applaudissement. Pas bon Dieu, applaudissement. He's ready to be praised. I've always known that I can do all things when Jesus Christ strengthens me. Many people always ask me, why you always smiling? Why you always look so happy? Why you always determined? Why you always look so rich? It is because there is a God. And because there is a God, and because He's behind me, He put great people like Dr. Ben around me, like Paul Villefranche, like Madame Désir, Gary Doguelan, Emmanuel Apotijou. And I understand that when I fall, I have to get back up. And if I fall again, I have to get back up again. Because I understand, in order for you to get to the promised land, to the last step, you need perseverance. And this is why I give myself away to drug-free world, because I understand we have billions of people who die by war, chemical weapon, but there are millions who also die because they're using drugs. And when young people using drugs, they not only endanger themselves, but they are a danger to people around them. They can kill young people, they can kill the mom, the dad, and they are very, very dangerous to the community. So this is why we have doctors, we have police officers, detectives who involved on drug-free world, so we can save the world. So Dr. Bernard, I thank you for this great opportunity of helping me serving the world by helping drug-free world, and I'm honored to be among those very important people who deliver themselves, who give themselves, so we can have a better world. Thank you for coming. I love you all. Thank you for your support. Vive Haïti. Nous besoin en Haïti qui free de drogue. We need a drug-free Haiti, a drug-free Dominican, a drug-free world. Thank you very much.